see Jupiter with the unaided eye on January 18th, 2024 on episode 384 of the Actual Astronomy Podcast. I'm Christian. Joining me is Shane. We're amateur astronomers who love looking up at the night sky. And this podcast is for everybody who likes going out under the stars. Hey, wait a second. Alister, are you still here?
Yes. No, I'm sorry. Yes.
You're like the ghost of observations past. No, wait. It should be observations future in this case, I think, because it looks like I missed an event for the 2024 Observer's Calendar or something you've pointed out to me.
Yeah, it's really cool. Of course, lots of people have seen Venus with the unaided eye after sunrise or before sunset during the day. We're not counting total eclipses of the sun where you can see the planets. It's just like during a normal day, be able to see Jupiter. It's a little tricky, and that's what we'll talk about.
And you were saying that it's not just an event here in Canada or North America. It's an event that is for sky watchers worldwide.
Yeah, that's right. It's the prime event is the 18th of January, and the moon, of course, as everybody knows, moves a little bit. So when we say, oh, the Jupiter will be at 3 o'clock to the moon, well, that'll be for some people, but other listeners, it'll be at 9 o'clock because the moon's going to be a little earlier in its orbit or a little bit later in its orbit, depending on what time zone you're in.
Exactly. So what is this event and what's the trick to seeing it?
Okay. Well, I sort of stumbled on this back in 87, and I was really enjoying my new polarized sunglasses. And of course,
as seen on TV.
And as a lot of people know, they're great for driving because it removes reflections off of flat surfaces. But as it turns out, the sky is polarized. It's called Rayleigh scattering. The sky is blue, and it is the most scattering happens closer towards the sun, and the least scattering happens 90 degrees from the sun. And that's where the sky is its deepest, darkest blue. And so it suddenly hit me. I was just lucky with the timing that Jupiter just happened to be in that spot in the sky. And I went, oh, I wonder if using polarized sunglasses, you can really darken that blue. And well, you're dimming Jupiter a little bit through your sunglasses, but it's one of these things where if you're darkening the background way more, maybe it's visible. And it turned out it was. And so that is really the trick. The key trick is waiting for Jupiter to lie in the polarization band of the sky. And that is 90 degrees from the sun. So it's not quite there yet. It will be in mid-January. And the other key thing there is when the moon passes by, in this case, it'll be in the evening sky, well, late afternoon sky. It'll be at first quarter, and first quarter is 90 degrees from the sun. So both Jupiter and the moon are lying in the polarization band. And so the moon is what sort of guides you to being able to spot Jupiter, because the ones of you who've seen Venus during the day, it's not easy. But, once you lock onto it, oh, yeah, there it is. But it's just, it's very hard for the eye to focus on a blank piece of sky. And so if you've got the moon right there, you've got a reference, your eyes can focus, and then you go, oh yeah, if you have to know for your time zone, like use the planetarium program, that, Jupiter will be, 3 moon diameters away at the 4 o'clock position or at the 7 o'clock position. And so make sure you know that. Use binoculars to start with, just to find it and go, oh, it's that far from the moon, or it's that close to the moon, because you'd be surprised if you just say, oh, it's 3 moon diameters. It's like your eye has a tough time, or brain has a tough time figuring out where that is. So what I do is I use a deck chair. I lie down, I put my head towards where the sun is, and then on go the polarized sunglasses. And in the late afternoon, um, the moon will be hopefully halfway up the sky, and you'll see the polarization band really nice and dark above, with the moon right pretty close to it. It's not a perfect alignment, but it'll be pretty close. And then you just sort of relax. And having the deck chair really allows you to relax. It's like having a seat at the eyepiece. You're not straining to keep your body balanced. You're just nicely relaxed. Find it first in binoculars, and then use your polarized sunglasses. By putting your head towards the sun, you're essentially lining up the right angle of polarization between the sky.
So you put your head back towards the sun, of course.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. You're looking exactly away from the sun, and we always have to put a rider on about solar safety, which is to never look at or anywhere near the sun. In this case, we are looking opposite the sun in the sky, because that is into the polarization band. Is that what you called it?
Not quite opposite, 90 degrees.
90 degrees. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So at sunset, the polarization band arches right overhead and goes from horizon to horizon.
Shane, have you ever heard of this polarization band before? This is like brand new news to me. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of it in the sky. Very familiar with polarized sunglasses, but not a polarization effect above me.
Yeah, and when you go out today or tomorrow, you'll look at it and you'll go, "How did I never see that?"
Well, that you mentioned it, Alister. Like, I think I have seen it. I just didn't know what it was, because there's times. We have a lot of, beautiful blue skies, horizon to horizon here on the prairie. And there's times where there's that deeper blue, it seems, above. And I don't know. I always thought it was like, oh, that's extra clear today, or there's just less particular.
Yeah, I always thought it was just related to atmospheric phenomena of a different type, like Shane's saying, the particles in the atmosphere. I didn't realize it was actually like a component of the atmosphere itself.
Yeah, we'll do another episode on that. But yeah, there is upper level transparency stuff that is a separate phenomenon to this. Changes the blueness of the sky, but in this case, yeah, it's and especially when it's slightly hazy. But the thing is, like on a normal day, put on your sunglasses, go out, and hopefully you don't get vertigo. But it's essentially, again, avoid looking at the sun. Put your back to the sun, and then tilt your head up and away from the ground, and then you can just sort of twist your body side to side, rolling your head. So hopefully you don't get vertigo doing that. So maybe hang on to put your hand on the side of the car or something, just to steady yourself and not get dizzy. And
they should be using a lawn chair anyway, so we're not responsible for people that go tripping and falling and stuff.
Yeah, you tilt your head side to side, and roll it around to find that maximum spot of darkness. So and Jupiter sort of when the moon is there, it's like boop, there it is. Now, of course, you can still do this when the moon is not there. And actually, Jupiter is in the depths of the polarization band towards the 25th, 26th of January. So if you miss this event, you can still give it a try. It's just, how do you know where to look?
Yeah. I found that before too. Like you were saying, I find that my eye really struggles to get that focus without something like the moon nearby. So that's super handy.
Yeah, and sometimes even traces of cloud help. And that ends up being one of those funny evolutionary things, is that if you just sort of open your eyes, your focus is naturally inwards, only a handful of meters away from you. So in case you've got a predator coming at you. So yeah, your eyes are not used to focusing on a blank sky, they actually pull inwards a little bit. But the other trick, if you're going to do this, if it's cloudy that day, is to find Jupiter just after sunset.
Mhm.
You can see it normally, and then go, okay, line yourself up either in your backyard or with some apartment buildings nearby, and go, okay, it's right over that corner at sunset. So just before sunset, it'll be further east. And so that too, if you're far enough from an apartment building, your eyes will be focused at the right distance, because an apartment building is good enough to infinity for your eyes.
Yeah.
And give it a try there. I have tried it with Saturn, and it's just like, no, I just could not do it with Saturn.
Okay.
But you can do it with especially the brighter stars, Capella, Sirius, Vega. It's easier in the morning because, for one thing, you can see, whether it's your target, whether it's Jupiter or one of those brighter stars. It's easier when it's coming out of the darkness. You know exactly where to look, and you're just lying back on your deck chair and you wait for sunrise, and it's still there. But it's that thing of focusing on a blank sky, you'll find is the real challenge. And so having the moon there makes it real easy. And it's just, unfortunately, when we get into when Jupiter is back in the morning sky and it's in the polarization band, the moon is nowhere near there. It's off. So when the moon does pass by Jupiter, it's basically out of the polarization band. The polarization band, it's not a channel, but it's a sort of a very deep trench, so to speak. You'll see it when you look at it. It's the sky is sort of its normal brightness, and then it just goes right down real deep, and then whoop back up the other side.
Well, this is brand new to me. I'm excited for this for several reasons. One, I have not even, Shane, you've at least noticed this before. I have not noticed this before, at least not to the extent that you have. And so just to see something new is always exciting. And then as well, it is during the day in the winter here, and it seems like you don't need to set up much equipment. So that is also a much appreciated observation that is more just of a challenge to see than to get the gear set up when it's like -20 in the middle of the night.
That's right.
That's great. Excellent. Anything to add on your end, Shane, before we wrap this up?
Well, I just appreciate the reference to using like an apartment building or some fixed object to help with this. I have attempted a few daytime observations before Venus, and I've used streetlights, in the distance to help sort of mark where I should be looking. And I guess it's probably the only time a streetlight is an astronomer's friend is during a daytime observation such as this. So. But yeah, this is going to be fun. Hopefully we have clear skies to try this out.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Anything to add from your end there, Alister, before we conclude one of your atmospheric oddities or whatever we're going to call these? I don't know.
Just have fun with it, with the sky, and the polarization is one of the neat things. Rainbows are also polarized, highly polarized. So with your sunglasses, tilt your head the next time you see a rainbow, which is going to be a while for us here. But yeah, it disappears completely. Part of the art, that is.
And for reference, my humor has sometimes been referred to on the show as somewhat polarizing, where people either enjoy it or they don't. So. Speaking of which, why wasn't Corey Hart an astronomer? Because he wore sunglasses at night. Yeah,
that's what I thought, but I did not want to take the
bait. Good stuff. All right, folks. Anything further for this one?
Nothing for me. Thanks again, Alister. Appreciate you coming on the show for this episode and the previous one.
Yeah.
This is our Christmas special. Thank you. Listeners, we will be taking a week or so. Might even amount to, it's gradually building here, but maybe it's going to be a week or so off there. We're going to head out sometime. You'll notice the last show, I think, Shane, is going to drop on the 21st of December, and we will be back on January 1st with the Observer's calendar for January 2024. Thanks everybody for listening. You can always send us your show ideas, observations, and questions, particularly on atmospheric phenomena, to actualastronomy@gmail.com.
Thank you everyone for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you are interested in more information, would like to contact us, or if you would like to support the podcast, check out our website, actualastronomy.com.